Perfect. Pride Marine. All right, so the show is back. We're live. Real quick, Farrington, you just hold tight for a second. I'm just going to go through my intro. We're off for 2 weeks. 2 weeks ago, it was my youngest daughter's birthday on the Thursday, so I was putting gifts together. And then last week, I actually jammed my pinky finger at 7 o'clock and went to the hospital to make sure it wasn't broken, so I didn't have a show last week. Plus, I recognize that it's really tough to get live shows done. So moving forward, we are still going to have live interviews, but we're also going to have a podcast version and just some random nights where it might just be me and a guest that's able to co-host like a strength to be me, Ian Nielsen or something. So tonight, Farrington, thank you for joining in. Michael Farrington works at Pride Marine
Group.
Okay, and where is that located?
We have 13 locations all over Ontario, but I'm out of the Aurelia location.
Okay, and is that Lake Simcoe? No. What lake is that up there?
We're a dry marina, but yeah, it's in between Lake Simcoe and Lake Couchiching.
Okay, cool. And so, if you watched the episodes before, I just want you to, take a couple minutes here, 2-3 minutes, whatever you want. Tell me who Mike Farrington is, where were you born, what was your childhood like growing up, and at the end, did you go to college and where'd you go? So take it away.
All right, so as you know, and a lot of people viewing today know, I grew up in Oshawa. I went to Waverley Public School. I guess I should start from the beginning. So I was born in Scarborough General Hospital.
That's where my sister was born. That's just
half a year, 1 year old. Oh yeah, I think we knew each other. Yeah. So I was about half a year, maybe a year old, and I moved to Oshawa with my family. And then I went to Waverley Public School growing up. From there, I guess I was about 10 years old. My parents divorced. So went through that stuff, although it was amicable on their part, so it was actually fairly easy to get through it and everything to happen. And then from there, went through high school, played hockey, played sports. And then I went to R.S. McLaughlin in Oshawa for high school. Also, while I was there, did a lot of sports. Kind of the main focus at the time was hockey and so on. Wasn't doing the best in school. Anyways, focused on sports, got through as much of the school as I could at the time with, trying not to focus too much on the sports. And then, I had a couple jobs, I guess, from, I probably 14.
Yeah. So what was your first job ever?
My first job ever was I was working at a racetrack, Kawartha Downs, and I was working in a fry truck cutting potatoes at this racetrack Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It was awesome. Yeah.
That's good. I like that.
Yeah, so I had a few jobs after that. Worked at that chip truck there. Then I worked at Price Chopper, which was great, just a stock boy, stocking shelves. And then ended up going to Durham College.
Sweet. And hey, when you went to college, where'd you work?
I worked at the not so great anymore EP Taylor's.
Yeah. It's like it's gone downhill, I guess. I've not been in it in a while. So, and that's essentially where we met, Durham College. I know you went to school with Ian, who was Strength to Be Me Photography. And I know he introduced me to you and Ty. And I think I just hired you on Ian's word to say, hey, hire this kid. He means well, he's good. And so it was a great decision because in the end, you actually took over my role at the Student Center, managing the not so great today EP Taylor's. And actually one of our viewers, Kevin Mott, I think he's still in here, he worked there. So you go to college. What did you take at college?
I took, I guess, kind of two courses. So I started off taking law and security.
Yep.
And then, like you said, I started working full-time at EP Taylor's there. So I pretty well dropped out of college the last probably half year I was there.
Sounds familiar, just like me. Yeah,
exactly. I dropped out then, and then worked full-time for a number of years, until about 2012, I guess it was. And then I went back and took, it was law and security, but they changed the name to protection, security, and investigation.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. And then you moved away, correct? In and around that time, where did you end up? Did you not go to Ottawa somewhere? Where did you guys move to?
Yep. Yeah. So we moved to Ottawa shortly after that. It was about just before 2013. We moved to Ottawa, and I worked for the federal government actually on Parliament Hill.
Okay. And then what brought you back to Orillia?
Well, Kelly, my wife, is from Orillia.
Yep.
So we were kind of looking to move back in this area because we wanted eventually in our lives to get a waterfront home.
Yep.
And Orillia is one of the best towns for a waterfront home to live on the water and be fairly close to many jobs.
Yep.
So what actually happened is I went from Ottawa to Georgian College in Barrie. So I came back to the town first. Kelly stayed working with the federal government, and probably 6 or 8 months she continued to work there, and I was driving back every weekend down to Ottawa. It was great.
And Melissa's laughing because you said wife. It's only been what? It's been 3.5 weeks.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
3 weeks.
3.5.
Congratulations again, by the way. It was a great time at your wedding. And so you make it to Orillia. You finish. So is that when you finish school again? Is that what you're going to? What school are you going to when you move back? Oh, you worked at. Where did you work in Orillia? What college?
Georgian College. I was
Georgian
in Barrie.
College.
Yeah,
okay.
just south of Orillia.
And so how did you end up at Pride Marina?
So I guess because I worked at E.P. Taylor's for, I think it was 10 years. Yeah, 10 years, managing the bar. And then when I went to Georgian, I was doing essentially the same role. I kind of had enough of the, late nights, early mornings.
Yep.
The college club scene, I guess you can say. So I decided to start looking for another job, something that was gonna free up some time for me, and also do something that I loved.
Okay. And it's funny you say that because I know we talked a while ago about, once I figured or I heard that you were working with boats and selling boats and whatnot, I immediately say it's a perfect fit. You had the cottage north of Oshawa there, and we went up a couple of times. I know you're a big water skier, so anything boats, anything on the water would be right up your alley. So I think it's a perfect fit. And I've watched a couple of your videos on some of your boat shows, and I don't want to say it seems like it's apparent that you know a lot about the boats. You were naming boats left, right, and center. I'm like, how would you know the name of all that stuff, right? And so it's good to see people who are very passionate what they do and love what they do. I assume you boat on weekends and do stuff on the water in the summertime.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Yeah. And, being selling boats, it's a little hard to get out as much as you want to get out. Obviously, when
working weekends,
when we got to work, it's the best times to be out there boating. But we definitely get out. I definitely get out as much as I can.
So tell me, we always talk about, we seem to have a similar past, although you've graduated college, I haven't. And Will Ellis will knock me for that till the day I die. But that's okay. So tell me, are there any defining moments in your life that, I can think of two, and this isn't my interview, but two for me really changed the path of my life. So are there any defining moments in your life that you want to share that really changed the course that you were on?
Yeah, I think so for sure. There's obviously quite a few that kind of come to mind, but one in particular, like I was saying earlier there, when I was in high school, when I first started out, I was hanging out with, kind of a rough crowd, not the greatest people. Yep. Wasn't doing the greatest in school, but for me to get by, hockey was the way to go. But it just wasn't enough to kind of give me that push and get the marks done and, get the credits that I needed, because I was more focused on the hockey. So actually one of the biggest defining moments of my life is I had a high school teacher that came to me one day and said, Mike, we're going to get you to, get your marks up, get everything going. You're going to join the track team. And I was like, okay, that seems easy enough. Track's not hard. It should be fun.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, what do I got to do? He's like, you got to meet tomorrow at 6:00 a.m. and we're doing you're going to join our first run. And I was like, come on, really? So how about 5 at night? That'll be better.
Yeah.
So he pushed me, got me out there at 6 a.m. And then it was pretty well from that moment and from him kind of pushing me along, the right path and stay away from the guys I was hanging out with at the time. And that got me right back into school, got me volunteering for things, and then which in turn got my marks up and got me into college.
It's funny you say that. I still, now, what was the name of that track coach? Do you remember?
Rob Greep.
Do you still talk to him? Do you still stay in touch here and there?
No, I bumped into him not too long ago, but
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. I talked to my wife about similar things where growing up, this, that, go to high school, probably would have gotten on the wrong path. And the football coach noticed me in the hallway and said, "Hey, son, do you play football?" And I was like, "Sure." And the rest is history, right? And so, but it's that kind of, had he not said that, then maybe things would have been differently. So, so tell me about, selling boats. What do you get a kick out of the most, helping people get into boats? What do you love about the role you play right now?
I'd say there's two aspects to my job that I love the most, in terms of the process of the sale. And the first aspect would be getting the person into the right boat. Because we get a lot of people that come into the showroom or, come out to the lake when we're out at boat shows or whatnot. And they say, "I want this boat," and it's because, their buddy down the lake has that boat, or they've seen it on TV or something. Then once you kind of get in asking questions, find out what they're actually going to do with the boat and how they're going to use it, it pretty quickly becomes apparent that the boat that they want isn't the boat that they need.
Right, and it could be more expensive or less expensive, right? To say,
absolutely,
you got to make sure they got the right boat for the right activities. Yep.
Exactly. Yeah, so that's the first aspect that I love, is just being able to kind of guide them in the right path and get them into something. Because I like most, there's a lot of people out there that'll sell you whatever you ask for, but I'd like to get you in the right boat, so a year from now you don't come back to me and say, "Hey, this boat is not what we need. It's not what we wanted."
Exactly.
So I like to get them into something that I know they're going to use, every weekend, every week if they live on the water, whatever it might be. And then the second aspect of my role would be when they actually take delivery of the boat. I like to go on, I think there's only probably 2 or 3 that I haven't been able to go on, but I like to go on every delivery and, shake their hand, say hi to them, and then watch them go for we send out a delivery captain that teaches them how to drive the boat if they need it, how to dock it, everything. So it's great to see that happen, wave them off the dock, and then
that's pretty cool. I mean, it's a different, I've sold cars before and similarities, but a boat's a toy, right? So it's that you're right. It's Christmas morning and you just got the toy you want and you get it year round. And so I had a couple questions about the boating industry in general, because I don't know it. I probably know a little now that I've seen you, but off season is probably right now. So October, November, to call it maybe February, March, because then the spring's going to come and people are probably getting boats. What are you doing in the off season?
Yeah, so just to touch on that part. So right now, we're still a little bit busy, still have people trying to get in. There's a bunch of different reasons for that. Some is, the weather's been great this summer, so people are trying to stay out as long as they can. Other parts is the tariff that's coming into place. If that does, people are trying to get their boat before it does, and pick up stuff that we have in stock. And then, we're still a little bit busy, but November we'll probably start slowing down a bit, and then we pick up huge in January for the Toronto International Boat Show.
Okay. When do you know when that is in 2019, and where is it?
I can't think of the exact date. So I'm pretty sure it's January 17th to the 27th. It's to the 27th for sure, but it might be not the 17th.
Okay, gotcha.
And that's downtown Toronto at the Enercare Center.
Okay, cool. And if anyone has questions, now I know you've got an Instagram account. Do you have a Facebook page for your marine, your private marine? For you personally?
I do, yes.
Okay. So, anyone watching the video down the road, you're watching the, what's this called? The time delay of the video. By all means, find Mike. I'll link your Facebook page and your account information in the description later. But any advice to someone who wants a boat but knows nothing? Like, is there can they come in and learn a lot about boating and figure out, obviously you go through the boating, but what would you tell someone that wants a boat that knows nothing about boats? Yeah,
honestly, one of the best things people can do right now is, do a bunch of research online, just in boating in general, how to, not even about specific boats, just if they've never been a boater, just, how to drive a boat, how to navigate the waters, what safety gear you need on board. Get to know that stuff so you know what you're getting into, because boating's expensive. And because there's a lot to do with it. So get to know that stuff, make sure it's the right choice that you can make. And then, yeah, come into the showroom, come check out the boats. You can get on, we have one of the largest showrooms in Ontario in Aurelia there. So it's heated, so it's open all winter.
Okay, cool.
You can come in, you can get on the boats, you can touch them, you can feel them. And then just when you walk in the showroom, just say to the sales guy, hopefully it's me, but just say it to the salesperson, you know, I'm just here, I'm just starting out in boating. I don't know anything about it. What can you help me with?
Okay. And they will ask for you. If anyone's watching this, ask for Mike Farrington. Don't ask for anyone else.
Exactly. That's right. That's right.
Last question. So how long you been doing the boat sales? How long have you been doing this for?
So I've been doing it now. I left Georgian in 2014. Yeah. So about just about a year and a half now.
Okay. Sweet. And I mean, you've probably said it just about, you know, coming to the showroom, but any other message you would send to any potential customers?
Don't be afraid to come in. I know a lot of people they're scared of salespeople, but don't be. Everyone in the boating industry that I know, myself included, we love our jobs. We love talking about boats. We love talking about summer. We love talking about water. So just come on in, jump in. If you don't want to buy a boat, just tell us you don't want to buy a boat. We're good with it. Yeah. Just get yourself in the showroom, look through some of the boats, have some fun.
Okay, cool. So my favorite part of this whole process is not the interview itself. It's the last part of the interview. And I'm trying to think about another list of questions, but it's the rapid fire. And so I'm going to ask you a bunch of yes or no's or pick one. They're supposed to be quick responses, so don't think too long about it until I get to the last question. That's a tough one. So can you hear me? You're good? You ready to go? Okay, we're ready to go. Favorite color?
Blue.
My man. What's your favorite meal?
That would be chicken parm with spaghetti on the side.
Okay. What was your first car ever?
It was my mother's car that I drove, and it was a...
That's not your car.
But I gotta say, it was a great car.
Okay, what was it?
A green Dodge Neon. I don't even remember the year. A green Dodge Neon that I had to put it, in order to get it into drive, I had to rev it in neutral and then slam it into drive so that it would kick it into gear. It was great. My first owned car was a Pontiac Sunfire, though.
Okay, cool. Do you have a favorite superhero growing up?
Yes.
Don't say Green Lantern.
No, it's Superman.
Okay. Did you have a real person as a hero growing up? Anyone you really looked up to?
Yeah, and it's odd that it's not like a family member or, you know, your mom or your dad or something, but there was a couple hockey coaches that were pretty good to us as a team, so it was, yeah, one of them. Okay,
cool. What's your favorite number?
16.
I knew that. Coke or Pepsi?
Coke.
Chicken or steak?
Steak.
Oh, favorite meal's chicken parm. Okay. Brown bread or white bread?
Weird, eh?
Brown bread or white bread?
Brown bread.
Okay. What's your favorite movie?
The Green Mile.
What is your favorite major sport?
Hockey.
What's your dream car?
A Boss 302 Mustang.
Okay, and who's your celebrity crush? Is Kelly watching? No, she's not. Is she in the background? Who's your celebrity crush?
Call her and tell her to get Facebook.
Okay. Who's your celebrity crush?
So many celebrity crush. I'd have to say Emma Stone.
Okay. Have you watched Maniac on Netflix?
No, I haven't.
Oh, you got to watch it, dude.
Is it good?
Show. Yeah, Emma Stone's in it with Jonah Hill. It's pretty good.
Oh, nice.
It's twisted, but it's good. Okay, what are you obsessed with right now, in this moment in your life, like right now? Is there anything you're completely obsessed with?
Weed whacking.
Weed Wow, interesting. Okay, and then this is a tough question where you're allowed to think about it. If you weren't selling boats or doing what you're doing now, what would you be doing?
I would be a cop.
Okay.
Yeah. Which kind of leads to what I went to school for and all that.
Right, and so yeah, great. Ty's joined in late, so that's okay. So Ty, you can watch the end of it. So Mike,
usual, always late.
Always late, always on time, right? He's 0-4 in fantasy football. 0-5, I think now. Anyway, listen, Farrington, I want to say thank you for doing the show. Sorry for all the technical difficulties. I appreciate you jumping on the first Facebook Live. We're trying a new platform, so thank you for joining in.
Anytime.
Okay, I am going to click on you, and I'm gonna boot you out because I've got to finish this interview with a little announcement, and I will talk to you right after this. I'll give you a shout, and again, thanks for being on the show.
No worries. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Mike. Oh. Anyway, okay, so we're on Facebook Live now. We've moved from Instagram Live to Facebook Live, so I've got to do a better job at getting the Instagram people who are watching onto the Facebook group. It's just easier. It's a better flat platform. It saves the video. It saves the video for me at the end, which helps me create a YouTube video as well as a podcast very easily. Instagram just wasn't that great. Will, you did miss it, but you can watch it at the end. But again, so if you want to see more of this, we're going to do more spotlight interviews with individuals, but I do have a co-host that's going to help me out, and we're going to talk about some important topics in today's society and things that are just, stewing in our brains that we want to, share our point of view and start discussions on. So spotlight interview show is sort of morphing into more than just individuals. And Will, anyhow, thank you all for watching. Please like, share, comment, leave your feedback if the video wasn't good or you want some changes. Share the group to your friends and family. If I added you as a member and you don't want to be a member, please leave. I didn't know I was going to do that. I thought I was going to send you an invite. You would have to accept it. It just tossed you in there as a member. So if you want to leave, leave. If not, stay tuned and watch more shows. And again, have a great night. Happy Wednesday. We will see you next week.